Charlotte, North Carolina starts off this hour. Sid is on the line. Hi, Sid. How are you?
I'm doing well, Dave. Thanks for asking. How are you today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I've been a long-time listener. Luckily had parents that instilled great money spending habits, made me read Financial Peace before I had an opportunity to go off to college. And I've gotten myself into a student loan situation. I was hoping I could get some advice on it. My fiance and I sat down recently. We both graduated from law school. Currently have about $225,000 in student loans. We went to a private law school, and we're really trying to figure out how to best tackle this. We're currently on an income-based plan. We make right at about $80,000 combined income, and I'm having a hard time seeing the financial incentive of paying more than just that income-based, because I'm not really ever, unless I pay more than $2,000 a month, I don't really ever have an opportunity to attack the principal. I'm just constantly paying down on the interest.
So I'm confused. You went to law school to make $40,000 a year the rest of your life?
They didn't tell me that when I signed the line, but as a first year associate, that is unfortunately the going rate in Charlotte.
I wasn't arguing the first year associate stuff, but you just projected this out 10 years with your hopelessness.
True, yes, sir.
And so, do second year associates only make $40,000?
Well,
do fourth year lawyers that are successful only make $40,000?
Probably not. They probably double it at that time.
I would hope more than double.
Yes, sir.
You ought to be in six figures 4 years out, especially with your private school education.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first year they try to kill you. That's the rule. Especially if you go in with a big firm.
Right.
Their goal is just to completely destroy you during that year. It's almost like boot camp or something, and you're probably gonna make $1 an hour. And but then after that, you're paying that price not to live like that your whole life, but to never have to live like that again, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, you're going to tread water this year financially on your student loans. But when you're making 80, you won't be treading water. And when you're making 120 as a pair or 240 as a pair, both of you working, we're going to clean this up really, really quickly. Right?
So how do I, at this time, try and keep my head above the water? Because the way I'm looking at it, I'm accruing about almost close to $20,000 in interest a year on both of these loans.
Well, let me ask you this. What set of logic did you use when you took out the loans?
Well, at the time, I've been able to keep my loans very low. I worked jobs and luckily had parents that were willing to help me. So my loans are very low.
What are your loans?
But my loans are right at $21,000.
Okay, so your wife has $200,000 in student loan debt.
My soon-to-be wife has about $200,000, and she's got about $207,000.
Okay. Well, let me just tell you, part of my soon-to-be wife's discussion is she's going to be working.
Right.
Babies come,
yes,
she's working. More babies come, she's still working. She doesn't have a choice.
Right.
Because you guys have got to get your income up in that $200,000 range very quickly. So here's the thing. I guess I would pose the same question to her or to you this way. What would you think was going through her head when she did that? Probably not a lot, but hopefully what she was at least rationalizing this ridiculous deal that she got herself into is that she's going to make a lot of money as a lawyer later and it'll be easy to pay this back, right?
Right.
That's at least what some had that at least as a passing thought. And so my point with that is that's probably somewhat true. It's a pain in the butt, and it doesn't justify this ridiculous situation, but you're there now. There's no sense yelling at you about that. So the trick is you guys keep your lifestyle at $40,000.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you make 41, you throw an extra 1,000. Then when you make 61, you throw 21,000 at it. And when you make 81, you throw 41,000 at it. And you keep your lifestyle at 40. You're not rich lawyers. You're broke lawyers. And you keep acting that way. You keep living like a college student, in other words, and you clean these things up as fast as you can. So you're not going to continue to accrue interest forever because you're not going to make this income forever. You've got to get your incomes up overall. So you're not taking a job doing pro bono work in the inner city as a charity. You're too freaking broke to do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I just do it on the side when I can.
Well, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You just have you have an obligation to the two of you to clean this mess up so that later you can be charitable.
Right.
But you're going to have to concentrate on one thing right now for the next 5 years, and that's make money. It's time to get the payoff.
So should I, in the next 4 to 5 years, obviously I should try and be as aggressive as I possibly can with paying down on the interest.
No, just on the debt in general.
Right.
I mean, the first thing you do as you're throwing money at the debt is you cover the interest. You're not quite doing that yet. So, but as you raise what you're paying on the debt, the first thing that's going to occur is you're going to pay more and more interest. How much are you paying? How much are you paying them now on this income-based crap?
On the income-based, she pays $340 a month, and I've paid for my full year of what my loan payments would have been at the very beginning of the year. I try and pay it all off at the beginning of the year, so I don't have to keep up with payments.
That's not $20,000. Her interest rate is what, 6%? So she's paying $12,000 a year in interest?
7.8%.
Huh?
7.8%. 7.8%.
Okay. So she's got a $15,000 interest payment per year, and she's currently paying $4,000.
Right.
So you're not accruing $20,000 a year. You're accruing $11,000 a year.
Right. Yes. Okay. Yes, that's correct.
So it's not nearly that dramatic, although we are going the wrong direction. So the first $11,000 more that you guys pay on this is going to get you to break even.
Okay.
And then the next $11,000 is going to be the principal reduction, right?
Right. Yes, that's correct.
And you just keep your lifestyle at $40,000. You're not buying furniture. You're not going on vacation. You are not going out to eat. You get to pay back private student loans.
Saltine crackers and
you got it,
sardines.
Man. Ramen noodles, and we're living like we're broke while we're lawyers. And that's the trip that she signed up for. And when you put the ring on her finger, that's the trip you're signing up for. It's not the end of the world. It's not a deal breaker. But you guys have got to pay a price to win here, because otherwise you're going to keep these things around. You're going to look up 10, 15 years from now. This crap's still going to be going on. It's still going to be making decisions for you, and you're still going to be experiencing that the borrower is slave to the lender. So you just got to keep this as front and center. Keep the main thing, as they say. Well, congratulations on your upcoming wedding and on your future success. I think it will happen for you. You're a smart guy. But you guys got to pay a price, dude. There's no goofing around here. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.